China always wants to, address the security concerns by, Russia, and also China has this like a bigger sort of strategic rivalry with the U.S. So the Chinese foreign minister today announced that President Xi is going to travel to Moscow on Monday for a 3-day state visit. So definitely he's going to meet with Putin, because Xi and Putin, they have developed this very close personal relationships actually since Xi he came into power in late 2012 2013. The two men, they have already met like 39 times. So this is one more time they're going to meet, and this time China is going to trying to play a sort of like a peacemaker, the role of being a peacemaker, trying to see if, I think this time China is going to do something to see if, it can do something to help, to ease the situation in Ukraine. So I think that's the goal. This afternoon, Wang Wen, being a spokesperson for the Chinese foreign ministry, he came out to say, this is a trip for peace, right? She is going there to safeguard the world peace, and then China is always on the side of, peace. I think those, those statements are kind of in a way a positive sign. China is not going to, it's going to try to, help ease the situation. Whether China can do it or not, that's another thing. But at least the intention appears to be very well.
What could China realistically do, Didi, do you think, to try and bring an end to this conflict?
Looking in from outside, hopefully she is going to be able to use his personal sway on President Putin to, get away something like so, we don't know, how he can do it, but maybe there's a way for Xi to tell Putin, look, maybe, we can ease the situation, right? But we don't know what kind of concessions, President Putin is willing to make, or what are the conditions, right? I think those are like the details. The key elements is what kind of agreement, what kind of compromises, China can get from Russia, from President Putin, to help, to ease the situation or even to end the war in Ukraine. We just don't know. And I think it's going to be a little bit hard because China has this position paper on Ukraine, and then you also have Zelensky has this peace formula, right? Those two things really don't ally very well, right? China always wants to, address the security concerns by, Russia, and also China has this a bigger sort of strategic rivalry with the U.S. And China says, why it happens, in Ukraine, because the expansion of NATO, China always says, always says it opposes this kind of Cold War mentality, and then opposes, the bloc confrontation. So China has its own kind of, political agenda, right? But at the same time, I think at this point, President Xi definitely is going to score points if he can somehow, be the peacemaker, as that China has done with Iran and the Saudi, right? China has done that. So maybe something like, at least, China can push at least, in a better direction, right? Things are not going to get worse if there's any way to ease the situation. So hopefully, I think everybody wants to see an end, right?
Yeah, of course.
And we'll see how that's going to happen, and then what kind of sway she's going to have over Putin.